Ms. Saira Nikhat Imam is a seasoned training and coaching professional with 15 plus years of experience across diverse industries, specializing in instructional design, leadership, soft skills, and NLP coaching. She empowers individuals and organizations to achieve their full potential. Can we have a big round of applause for our speaker?
Thank you. Just want to be sure. Action-packed learning day, and I call it as my learning day. Thank you so much for all the ones who have coordinated. So today I'm here to present the research that I'm part of. I'm representing India. And so the research is by Sean Maffer and Eric Eisenberg. So the loose translation of this particular research is all about, while we focus on handing over a physical object to somebody, we are conscious of making sure the object is not fallen down, and you make sure to help somebody out there. So likewise, communication. Next slide. So these are the researchers. Okay. So they have been doing a lot of work. It's a lifelong study that they have been involved in. And in India, like I said, I was representing, and I thought today I can present the same thing to you all. So moving on with major conversation today is all about from this book, Stop Wasting Words, Leading Through Conscious Communication. Possibly I'll come back, I can connect with you all one-on-one if you're interested knowing more about the specific details, especially at workplace. We are not really bothered whether the person whom you are instructing or giving the information is actually taking the information or not. Not just, culturally when you look at it, nodding head is an acknowledgement. But again, within India, the nodding of yes and no is also like, really different. South India, we nod really different, and North, you actually give an acknowledgement in different way. So talking from those lines in terms of, moving ahead, and I just want you all to see this video possibly, to insight about, where we are heading.
We believe that leaders, to communicate effectively, need to monitor for grasping while they are speaking to their employees. They don't need to give orders, they need to speak in ways that they are able to monitor whether or not the receiver is getting their messages. In this baton relay race, you'll see the runner behind with the baton, passing the baton to the runner in front of him. They have 20 meters to accomplish that. As the runner giving the baton places it in the receiver's hand, he does not let go right away. Actually, if you watch closely, you'll see that he can see the person grabbing it. He can see he has a firm grasp, but he still will not let go until he feels it being pulled out of his hand. He needs to monitor the receiver while he's giving him the baton to be certain he has fully grasped it before he lets go. And so when we communicate with people, we need to monitor whether or not they're receiving us during the conversation. In this second relay race, second of 3, we'll see the runner giving the baton, holding up the baton and bringing it up to his hand, but he needs to tip it down to make it easier for the receiver to get it. He's accommodating the receiver's needs real time during the race. He's placing it in the receiver's hands. He's still not letting go, though, until he feels the pull. He wants to know the person has fully grasped it before he lets go. That's the responsibility of the relay racer who's giving the baton to the receiver. In this last one, you'll see several mistakes. The receiver has missed it completely and is going to miss it a couple more times. But the giver of the baton is going to hold it perfectly still and not let go until he knows the receiver has grasped it. You'll see here how he's going to follow his hand up the baton, but the giver still does not let go because he's waiting for the sensation of grasping. The relay race baton giver needs to know that it's been grasped before he lets go. That same principle needs to apply to all leadership communication.
Let's demonstrate. I need 2 volunteers here, please. Anyone? 2 volunteers. There's no eye contact. Oh, you. Okay, good. Let's clap for him. Yeah, 2 people. So let's take a physical object over here. Maybe we can take the bottle, the water bottle. Possibly one of you can actually hand over physically the object to the other person, and let's see how the other person takes it over. And in this transition, did you follow intensity to give the water bottle? How did you take it? I mean, did you do an audience profiling? I mean, in the sense, when you're giving information, the person, the age group, the audience profiling is very, very important from a contextual standpoint of, workplace communication. So could you allow us to could you please share something about, how did you hand it over to them? Any thought process? Well, the process is very simple like this and takeaway. But what did it go through, pass by your mind and your thought while giving it over?
So I just wanted to hand it over to him.
Uh-huh.
So both of us, the audience.
Lovely. And when did you decide that, yes, he has taken the physical object?
After he completely
Grasped it,
yeah.
right? Caught the information or grasped the information. Perfect. And how about yourself? How did you feel like, that yes, you have independently, are holding an object?
I was focusing on making sure.
Lovely. Uh-huh. Lovely. So this is what precisely the study of communication, conscious communication has been spoken, especially in the medical world. It seems there have been instructions which have been misinterpreted, mistakenly acknowledged. And there's been certain study which talks about 61% people in America who has taken, misinterpreted the instruction given by the medical, representatives. And therefore, there have been a lot of deaths, there have been a lot of consequences out there. Thank you so much, and the explanation was well done. Good job. So, workplace communication, coming back to the same aspect, in reference to how much do we really focus on giving or passing on the information to someone? Do we really do that? And what's the acknowledgement that we really do? Like, for example, your team member, your subordinate, you're passing on the information. You're giving on and process update. You are technically giving the download to the person. Do we really focus how much the person has taken? There are a lot of learning theories, right? The moment you see somebody yawning, you allow them to step out for a break. Then you have certain adult learning principles that we bring into learning and development, as a aspect. So, but in general, do you all follow, what do we follow at workplace? Can I again hear it from somebody else, one person? What is your take on this? How have you been doing in terms of passing on the information? Are you successful? Are you possibly an area of improvement for you to work on? Anyone? Lovely, summarize, okay. And what if summary is a bit missed out? Maybe the intake of information in the summary, if it is missed out, how do you go about it? So you instruct the person is what you're saying. How about not going until the stage of summary and just prior to this, handing over of object? Do you think, yes, paraphrase, okay. So that's the language component of it, rephrase, paraphrase, question tags, right? That's where your language comes into picture. Language is one form expression. So now looking at it, communication is perishable, right? Self-expression is one of the main attributes for effective communication. Now, one attribute is self-expression. The other attribute to make your communication effective, I take your point of summarization, rephrasing, paraphrasing. One most important aspect, if you look at the demonstration that was done right now, it's nothing but, how much the person has caught the information, how much the person has grasped the information. That is where, our role comes in as speaker, as instructor, as trainers, as managers, as leaders. So can I possibly take your acknowledgement to go ahead, think through about this, and I wish to really connect back to you all, to the person who's actually doing this research, connect and share your insights at workplaces, especially for our country, because we have so much of diversity in terms of communication style and communication, instruction giving. Like North India follows a certain style, South India follows a certain style, then there's a study of power distance. How much do we give, to your subordinate, whether your subordinate comes and, takes the information in terms of alignment. So maybe I'd like to hear one more person talking about, what has been your experience for a subordinate especially. Yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Lovely. So this is pre-meeting, you mean to say, before meeting? Okay. So this has been working for your work style. How about ad hoc meetings? Okay, lovely. Now these are all for planned meetings, right? How about ad hocs, where you do not have time to send something, prior? Okay, okay. Okay. And that's, no. Okay, so this is as well taken. Anything else that anyone wish to share? Post-lunch effect, lot of biryani. I doubt if we had biryani today.
Story altogether. There also some portion of it should be covered. Yeah, okay, sorry. So it has to be customized. If before you decide before you write to decide to write an email, first you look at the person whom you're sending, and if you know well and good, if it is for your team, even every member of your team has a different level of understanding.
Receptiveness.
Yes, so if you write, I think two key components here I usually focus on is, am I writing what I want to communicate, and how will my recipient perceive that? I think if we cover these two things, whatever is the objective of it,
Perfect,
we'll achieve.
perfect. And precisely like the handing over the object that happened, he was quite like, there enough to give you the, object. And you were like prepared to take the object. And likewise is for communication. So my current engagement is with Indigo Airline, and they've been like really doing wonderful in the space of, airline sector. There's so much of communication flaws that, we were asked to do a project in reference to like, what has been missed out in terms of comprehension, receptiveness, like you've rightly said, audience profiling. Vocabulary doesn't work out for everyone. Vocabulary do work out for, a few people. Language and a lot of attributes, to make a successful customer service experience altogether. So in line with, you have rightly talked about, summarization, the audience profiling, something like a pre-meeting thing, rephrase, all this kind of, we go back to the same aspect of, while you hand over an object, the study is very simple, the research which has been conducted, you hand over the object, you make sure that the object is collected. And how you do it? By maybe knowing the person's, capability of taking the object, and helping the person to grasp the object or catch hold of the object, okay? So with this I conclude, and there's a message from my mentor for everyone out here.
Greetings to everyone in Hyderabad. My name is Sean Mahar, and I'm speaking to you from a small town in Munson, Massachusetts, United States of America. I want to both thank you for demonstrating today your commitments to lifelong learning. That is always valuable. And I also want to thank Saira Nikhat Imam for sharing some of our work with you today. I first met her approximately, I'd say, early December of last year. And I admire her work, her expertise, and I appreciate her interest in learning more about what we do in the field of conscious communication. So I wish you all a beautiful day. Have a great program, and be well. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So in case this research is something that you're inclined or interested, write us back, and I can also put you to Sean directly through LinkedIn. Right? Thank you for being a lovely audience, and like I said, it's a very, very learning, action-oriented day, and I really could connect back to a lot of talks where people have done it, and this is my special vote of thanks for inviting people and making it a very educative platform. Thank you once again. Sure.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are glad to have you here.